Jake and Sirena got to the small fishing village a few minutes before 10 p.m. He had insisted on laying low for a little while, knowing the Pico police would take some time to close down all of the exit points from the island. Jake had rented the house under one of his many personas, paying in cash to his landlord, who wasn't a fan of the Portuguese government or taxes in general. And the two of them had been very careful not to be photographed while on Pico Island. Before leaving the house and the grounds, Sirena had destroyed any access to their cameras. Since the videos were uploaded directly to the cloud, the only hard copies were on their phones and possibly their laptops, which were on them in their go bags. The only thing left behind at the house would be their DNA and fingerprints, which would leave the police nothing at all, since both would be still purged from all law enforcement and intelligence agency databases. There could be a slight possibility of lingering matches in the Interpol system, but Jake guessed that even that would have been wiped out by now. That left their car, which Jake had purchased for cash from his landlord's cousin. Again, he had used his Austrian passport exclusively on Pico Island, along with his international driver's license. Jake would have to dump the car, since the police would be looking for that. Now, Jake drove down to the small waterfront, where the tide seemed to be in, the waves lapping gently against the jetty and the large rocks along the small harbor. Only a couple of small fishing boats sat against one side of a small pier. The larger boat took up the entire other side. Their ride. "Do you trust this guy?" Sirena asked. "As much as money will influence," Jake said. "I've been out fishing with the guy a couple of times. We'll see." Jake pulled their little Fiat sedan to a small parking area. There were no other vehicles there, which made some sense, since the boat captain lived only a block away. "Let's dump the bags and I'll stash the car in the trees up the hill," Jake said. Then he got out and helped Sirena pull the bags from the trunk. He kissed her on the lips and said, "It'll be fine." Then Jake got back in the car and drove up the hill, finding an isolated spot to park. Once Jake got out and fluffed up the shrubbery on the back of the car, there was no way anyone would be able to see it from the road. Satisfied, he jogged back down the hill toward the pier. When Jake got there, the old fisherman was standing next to Sirena, and they were laughing about something. "Your wife says you had to take a dump before heading out," the fisherman said, his English strained. "Good move. We have a bathroom aboard, but the quarters are tight, so the smell can be a problem." Jake simply smiled at both the notion of Sirena being his wife and his bowel movement. "Let's go," Jake said, remembering to use his German accent.